Have you been trying to wake up early for a while now? Do you promise yourself every day that tomorrow is the day you're gonna start? Do you watch those reels, YouTube videos, TikToks that inspire you to wake up early and you tell yourself, tomorrow is the day I'm gonna start waking up early? But right when that alarm goes off in the morning the next day, you just can't seem to fight the urge to sleep in. And you tell yourself, tomorrow, I won't do it today, I'll start from tomorrow. And you keep pushing and pushing it away. I get it. I've been there, I've done that, and a lot of us struggle to wake up early or earlier than we're expected to. And that's okay, you're in the right place. We're going to talk about waking up early, the benefits of doing so, my journey, my struggles, and how I overcame them, and then some scientific evidence to prove why this is life-changing, and lastly, my tips that have worked for me to make this whole thing so much easier. If you're excited, let's get into it. Before we jump in, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ritvi Bhatt, and I'm a relationship and mindset mentor, and I work with young individuals to help unleash their best potential by improving their relationships, their career, their mindset, and just becoming positive, happy individuals. If you know me from Instagram for a while now, please say hi so I know who you are. I know that you've been a part of this journey, and so I can say thank you. If you're new here, please subscribe, please like, and please comment so it's easy for me to organically grow and help more and more people. So I hope this video is helpful for you, and I hope that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any updates, any tips, any new educational videos that I put out to help you and me become better people. So if someone asked me, what's that one thing you could attribute your success to? Whether it's having a social media, whether it's promotions, career, whether it's losing weight, whether it's becoming a better partner in a relationship, whether it's dealing with anxiety or learning how to be alone. All of that for me points back to one thing, my journey of waking up early. I'm a biomedical engineer. When I was in college, I used to go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at like 7:30, maybe 30 minutes before class. Just enough time to brush my teeth and shower. That's it. And that's not bad, right? Like, I would go out with my friends, I would be studying till late hours, I would be watching a movie with my partner, whatever that was, right? That led to me pushing my day into later and later hours. That was me in college. I'm not calling out people who do that because that's natural. A lot of us tend to do that because that's how most other individuals around us are, and we want to spend time with them. However, I started noticing the benefits of sleeping early and waking up early almost in the last year of my college. And so I was just like you, struggling, quickly waking up, brushing my teeth, showering, and grabbing a muffin on the go or a bagel on the go or picking up something from a cafe on the way while I run to class last minute. And that was my life. Towards the last year, I started noticing that I would perform significantly better on exams when I had slept better. And I was a very hardworking person, so it wasn't like I was studying for some exams and not for the others. I would put in my everything and study so hard for college and the exam season. And what would happen is when I hadn't slept, and let's say I'm on question 4 in an exam, and I don't know that question, I would have a panic attack. I would freeze. And a lot of times they tell you in school, go to the next question, just go to the next question. But I couldn't. I would just freeze, unable to fight my anxiety, unable to fight my fear of not knowing that question. So even if I knew like 10 more questions after that one, I couldn't get past the 4th one, and I would sit there like almost frozen in anxiety. But as I started sleeping at least 6 hours before my exam, I realized that I was so much more productive in that exam. I wasn't freezing up, I wasn't having anxiety, and despite putting in the same amount of work as before when I hadn't slept, I was doing better when I was sleeping in. And so a part of me had now discovered that there were benefits of sleeping a good amount of time, but my life hadn't changed. I hadn't changed my significant sleep schedule. I hadn't made major moves until COVID. So I was out of college into the workforce, went to work for 5 days, and COVID hit. As I started working from home, I realized I wasn't grabbing a sandwich on the go or a bagel on the go or a croissant on the go. And so I wanted to allow myself enough time to just make breakfast in the morning. So from having work at 9, I started waking up at 8, and I would make a breakfast for myself, and I started realizing I wasn't having like sugar crashes. I wasn't as lethargic when I made a good healthy breakfast for myself and started my day. And I started loving that part. Then as days and weeks went on, I said, I have more time. I want to work on myself. Let me get into fitness. And so I said, let me start working out. Let's see how that is. And I hadn't really worked out before, other than playing sports. And so I started waking up like 30 minutes earlier than I had to. And I started doing like stretching, Pilates, like slow, gradual workouts. And that became a part of me. That became my habit, and I loved it. And so I told myself I would now start waking up maybe an hour and a half earlier, which would allow me to give myself time to do maybe a little bit of cardio, some weightlifting, and like give more time to my workouts. And that became a part of me. That became my habit. I started seeing significant results in my body. I was losing weight. I was feeling more fit. I was feeling stronger. I was more energized throughout the day. And so I was like, this is great. I thought to myself, I want to give myself some time before I have to start working out, so that I have time to like sit and have a coffee, read a book, plan what I want to work out. Like I wanted some more time before my workout, so I wasn't jumping out and starting to work out or feeling rushed. And so that clock shifted back to like 5:30, and I loved that pockets of time that I got earlier, and I started like meditating. I started reading. Slowly and slowly that shifted back to like another hour, because that pocket of time that I was getting was my mini life away from real life, and I got addicted to it. I wanted more and more, and that's why my clock shifted further and further back. And I'll tell you why this morning time is so important. You might say you can read a book in the evening, you can work out in the evening, you can do it in the afternoon, you can meditate at night. Correct. But the morning time was this sacred time in the day for me, where nobody had texted me. I had not allowed someone to say something to me. I was not running late. There was no distraction of work, emotions, or energy that someone was putting on me that would ruin my time or ruin my day. When you start your day with just yourself, you're not allowing the news, you're not allowing your partner, you're not allowing your family, you're not allowing your work, nobody, just you and yourself, to allow yourself to define how you want to spend the day. Define the energy with which you want to start the day. Define if you want to feel positive, grateful, happy, chirpy, or you want to wake up with a I'm tired, I'm annoyed attitude. This was this sacred time that nobody could ruin for me. There was nothing anyone could do, because they weren't around at that time to ruin that. Another significant advantage, I would say, for people who have a job or working or studying or in college, you don't have that much time during the day, right? There's life happening. You have to study, you have to work, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to meet friends, you have to do things with family, have dinner with family. There's just things that you have to do that are a part of what we call life, right? We don't bat an eye, just regular routine that we don't think about. That takes up a lot of hours of our day. And so when you allow yourself this like chunk of time in the morning, you give yourself time to maybe build that side hustle that you want, or that passion that you want, or you want to lose weight and you have time to work out in the morning that you can't push off for later. A lot of people work out later in the day, and at least for me, I would spend the whole day coming up with excuses on why I can skip working out today. But when you start your day in the morning where there is no distraction, there is no excuse, you have woken up to pursue that, there's nothing that can stop you. You've already started the day on a healthy note. I know a lot of you might say, I'm a night owl, I do all this at night. But there's significant research that has shown the benefits of nature and sunlight. And when your routine and your life and your sleep cycle mimics or is that of the nature, you have benefits of utilizing sunlight, which in itself has tons of benefits in productivity, anxiety, depression, sleep. Everything gets better when you're more awake when the sun is out rather than odd hours. And let me tell you some scientific studies that were done to prove this. First, there was a study published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research that found that waking up earlier was associated with a lower risk of developing depression. The study followed nearly 32,000 women over a period of 4 years and found that those who wake up earlier had a 23% lower risk of developing depression as compared to those who woke up later. The second, a study conducted by the University of Texas found that students who identified as early risers had a higher GPA than those who identified as night owls. Isn't that crazy? And I didn't know this. I really wish I knew this when I was in college, but I didn't. And I figured it out by coincidence, and I can attest to it that it's true. And so there's tons and tons of more research, but this is real. This is proven by experience, by anecdotes, by our old religious books, by science. No matter what you believe in a person, believe in a God, believe in books, believe in science, everything backs up to the benefits of waking up early. So the big question, right? How do you do it? So I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that have worked for me and have worked for friends and family who have tried to follow suit. And so I'm trying to make this easy for you, but mind well, you don't have to start tomorrow and wake up at 4 a.m. That is absolutely crazy to make such a big shift. I didn't do that. I wouldn't have succeeded if I did. So make a small change. Pick a small chunk of time just before or earlier than you wake up now and start there, and then gradually, as I told you about my journey, shift that down as much as you want. So now let me tell you some tips. So number one, have a consistent sleep schedule. I cannot emphasize the importance of sleeping and waking up at the same time regularly. So no matter it's the weekend, no matter it's a vacation, please try to maintain the hours that you sleep. This is so important because you're training your body. You're helping your body learn and train its circadian rhythm so that it makes it easier to wake up early. Now I don't have to try to wake up at 4 a.m. Unless I'm really tired, I naturally wake up at 4 a.m., sometimes even before my alarm, because my body has adapted to that rhythm. And so don't sleep 5 days a week, you wake up at 6 a.m. and then on the weekends you wake up at 12. You're already ruining your Sunday because you're going to sleep in, go to bed later, and then ruin your Monday. You have to try to make this consistent and maintain it despite weekends, vacations. Number two, create a sleep time routine. Everyone talks about the morning routine, but it's really important to create an environment that makes you feel sleepy or makes you feel welcome to get to bed. And so for me, that is taking a warm shower, changing into like night clothes or pajamas that's different from what you've worn all day, so you feel clean and cozy. Try to light a candle, try to read a book, try to meditate. Do things that calm you down, distract your thoughts, and seduce you into sleep in natural, organic ways. Number three, avoid caffeine and alcohol and screens before you have to go to sleep. So especially with caffeine and alcohol, monitor how many hours caffeine has an effect on your body. And so do not have coffee or alcohol at least 4 or 5 hours before you have to go to sleep. Same thing with screens. There's tons of research that has shown you that the blue light from the screen makes it much more difficult to go to bed. Number four, have something to look forward to. For me, that's coffee. I've bought myself a coffee machine where I enjoy the process of making a cup of coffee every morning. That excites me, that gets me out of bed. For you, that can be an unread chapter of a book, something you have to finish, anything that excites you or you look forward to finishing, completing, or doing. So that makes it easier to jump out of bed. Number five, set a sleep time alarm. I have an iPhone and it has this feature, but I'm sure any phone does. But set a sleep time alarm. I have a chunk of day that is dedicated in my phone that says these are the hours I need to be asleep. So right when it's about to hit 9:30, I get a reminder, or at 10 saying, almost time for bed, get ready for bed, time to sleep. And sometimes when you're mindlessly scrolling or doing something in the house, you forget that you've already reached that hour to sleep. And so that reminder, that alarm to sleep is really important. I know you might have a question where you want to ask me, okay, we understand you wake up at 4 a.m., but what time do you go to bed? And the answer is 9:30 to 10. That's when I go to bed every night. And a lot of times you can't go to bed so early because of life or events, but I go out of my way because this is a life I want to build for myself to control the circumstances as I can. So initially when I said, yeah, let's meet at 9:30 p.m., now I say let's meet at 6:30 p.m. So that allows me enough time to come back home and still maintain my sleep time. See and try to control the variables that prevent you from going to bed at time, because the underlying number one tip, there is no magic, there is no science, there is no fanciness. Going to bed early means you will wake up early. It's that simple. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to hear about your stories. Please comment if you have any questions. But as you embark on this journey, tag me on your Instagram stories, message me, DM me. I would love to hear how it's going for you and what changes you're making. And tomorrow, just try waking 15 minutes early. Just try. I hope this helps you. I can't wait to see the best version of you. Please make sure to like if this was helpful and subscribe so I can keep growing and help more people like you.